Hi there. I'm going to be telling about Amazon Web Services and how to send your first message from your machine to the AWS IoT core and vice versa. In order to do it, first step that you need to do is install Nodejs in your machine. Now, why Nodejs is because Nodejs is the backend at which AWS works on. So on it, it will be using Node.js as suppose it as a human body. The internal working of it is what gives us the ability to do work. So internally, Node.js will be handling for sending communications between your laptop or the machine to the Amazon IoT. So in order to install it, you just have to go to this site called nodejs.org and just download the specific package to your machine. And after you get it, it will automatically be installed in your environment variable. After you install it, the best way to check is just open the command prompt with administrator privileges and just type npm and press enter. On doing so, you will get the notification about the commands as well as the version that you have already installed. I've already have my PC with 6.9.0 and you can just download one and install. The second step that you need to do is install the IoT SDK in your machine. So for that, you just need to put one command after you install Node.js. I repeat, you first have to install Node.js and then you have to install the SDK of IoT. Well, the SDK is basically the services to install on your machine so that the communication happens seamlessly. And for that, you can just make a new folder somewhere. Like I'm just going to be making it here on the desktop and renaming it to AWS and opening it. After it is open, just change the directory to that folder and press enter. Once it is done, you just have to enter this following code, which is npm install AWS IoT device SDK. And once you press enter, it's gonna install the services in the folder right here. So it's gonna be taking a bit of time depending upon your internet connection, and then it's gonna be installing the required files and folders that you would be needing for further communications. So this is done, see? And then you will have this folder which has all the files that you require. Now we have to just go to the internet for the Amazon Web Services and make an account for it. I already have my account made. I chose for the trial version, which gives you, I guess, 12 months of subscription without having to pay in between that. And after that, if you choose to continue, you have to pay. So I would suggest you go for the same and just make an account. And after you make your account, it would come to a place similar to this. And from there, you have to choose a region. I am currently working on US East Ohio. So in case you are choosing North Virginia, it's fine. But I would like to tell you one thing. Like every region is specific to that place. Like if you do something in North Virginia, you cannot communicate across the regions. I mean, from North Virginia, you cannot communicate to Ohio, and same goes with every other region. So whatever you do in North Virginia stays with North Virginia, and Ohio stays with Ohio. So for me, I'm working in Ohio right now, which is my US East Ohio. And you can verify that with this link right here. It says region US East 2. I'm gonna be telling you why it is important to know this thing. But for this, let's see. Okay, so once you have made it open, go to services and press IoT core. Now this is the place where you have all the things available in order to communicate. So I'm going to be showing you how to send your very first message and connect, basically like connect your device broker with the servers of AWS IoT and send a test message so as to check whether it is connected or not. So the first thing that you have to make is a thing. Like in order to do that, you just have to go to manage and go to things. I already have one thing made. So this is a different screen that I'm coming across. But when you will be making your first thing, it will have a menu which will say get started or something like start making a thing. Just click on create back then. and then it will be like this. So you have to create a single thing for now. Give your thing a name. I would be saying, like, let's say humidity sensor. Oh yeah, space is not allowed. Take so sensor. After this you have to select a type. Well, what is a type now? Like, suppose in a home you have like 4 rooms, and on those 4 rooms you have multiple bunch of sensors, and there is a time when you have to just apply one specific thing to one room. Doing that by every sensor by sensor is a tedious work. So what you will do is just make 4 groups according to room 1, room 2, room 3, room 4. Allocate the sensors to each rooms, and then just send the query to one type. And that type will help you to spread the message across all the components which comes under the same type. So I already have 2 things, but I'm just gonna create one type here. Create a type and just write one, like just room 1 for example, and all sensors in room 1. This is going to be my description. Now set searchable thing attributes means, like, in order to search your thing you can just type in what should be the basic name. So like, what should you type in order to search it? So I'm just going to say name, and that's all. Create thing type. Once it is created, it will show you created successfully, and then you can just select it from here, room 1, and then you don't have to do anything with this. See, we pressed name in the type, and then it's automatically here, and the value would be of this thing, of this room 1, this humidity sensor. You can press the name as HM01. So this specific sensor is having a name which is HM01 and is of the type and is of the type room 1. So let's consider this sensor is going to be installed in room 1. After that, just press next, and now it's asking you to create a certificate. What it is, I'm just going to be telling you in some moment. Just press create certificate. Okay, it will show you now 3 options, and says like a certificate for this thing, a public key and a private key. Well, what is a certificate is that whenever you will be having a module, a thing, which is a sensor in this case, or anything else, a thing in IoT is basically a component. So a component, in order to communicate with the AWS, a certificate helps in authenticating whether the thing which is communicating with the AWS belongs to the same person or not. It's just like a key and a lock. So a key gives access to the lock. So this certificate, these 3 certificates will give you the access. And now there's also an option which says a root CA for IoT. Just open it somehow. And once you open it, it will show you this thing, like a document will open in front of you. You have to just press right click on Amazon root CA1 and just download it. I've already downloaded it, that's why it's showing me already downloaded. So it has a name called Amazon root CA1. So once you downloaded that, you can close it, and you already downloaded all 3. Press activate. Don't forget to activate this certificate right here, else it will not work. And then it has an option to say attach policy, and done. I haven't created a policy yet, so I will be just pressing done for now. Once you click done, you will have your thing ready, and I'm just gonna show you what it is. It will show you the type, the attribute, it shows HM1, and then they have some bunch of other options. But for that, now the second thing that we are gonna be doing is like moving to secure option right here and clicking on certificate. So this is the certificate that we created just now, this one 3C08. We can verify it with the name given at the bottom, and yeah, it has a big name. But now the second thing we have to do is make a policy. I already have this made already, but I'm just going to be showing you what a policy is. Well, when you click on create, you have to type your policy name. So I'm just going to be telling it as, let's say, test policy. Okay, so what a policy does is, this is basically what tells your thing what it is capable of doing. So suppose if you have a policy which says like, yes, you are allowed to send and receive messages. So if you attach that policy to your Arduino, let's say, it can only send and receive information, nothing else it can do. It cannot write on something else. So this policy will basically tell AWS that your device is capable of doing what all things, like publish, subscribe, and all those things. So I can just show you, if I try just IoT, it will show you all the things. So publish, subscribe, connect, receive, update. For the time being, I'm just gonna be using this thing called IoT star. That means include all the policies that you have. And in the resources, press asterisk because you want every resource to be included. And don't forget to press allow, because unless you allow it, it's not gonna be, activating. And then press create. Once you create it, it will have a test policy being created here. Now what you have to do is move on to certificate. The certificate that you have right now is here. When you click on these three things like the menu bar, attach, you have to attach a policy to it. So attach the policy that you just made, which is test policy. Press attached. So what we are doing now is linking the certificate with the policy and the thing. So those three things are one entity. So once a device starts communicating, first it will check for the certificate if it is allowed or not, and then it's gonna be going on to the policy, and it will like just read what it is allowed to do and then do the following things. Now we have to attach a thing. Which one was it? Humidity sensor, I believe. Yes, attach. Once it is attached, it says like, yeah, it's attached. You can cross verify it by going to monitor. Oh no, it's manage, and just go on to see. This is humidity sensor with the name room 1. Press on it. It will show you that it has a type room 1. Attribute this, and then when you move to security, it will show you the certificate which it has. And once you click on the certificate, it's going to show you which policy it is following. So it's all connected. Okay. And it shows you effect, allow, action, all, and resources all. That's all for the setting up of things. So this is all you need to do in the AWS part for now. And the next step that you have to do is, once you have downloaded the certificates, just drag them or like copy paste them to the folder where you actually install the node modules in the AWS folder. Okay, so I just moved all the four certificates. I'm just gonna be making a new folder with the name certs, which means certificates, and moving all the certificates in that folder. I'll be moving it to the cert folder. Okay, once it is done, you can see that the certificates are in the folder certs. You just have to go to the description and you will see the link to a code right there, which is called a publisher. This code is the code that's going to be running on your laptop or machine or Arduino, whatever it is. For now, it is my laptop, and it's going to be sending message to AWS. So once you have downloaded this txt, what you have to do, I specifically saved it in txt format so that you can first edit it and then change it. Let's say first move this publisher to the folder where you have the stuff AWS. Done. The next thing that you have to do is you have to, like, do you see this thing, these three things: key path, cert path, and CA path. Go to certificates. You have four certificates. One is certificate PEM, the other is private PEM key, public PEM key, and Amazon root CA. So what you have to do now is press S. This name should be the name of the folders in which your certificates are. For me, it is certs now, which was initially cert in my previous project, but I just edited it to certs. And now you have to mention the path. which is you just have to press this so that it by default checks in the folder that you are saving it to. And now for the CA path, this is the CA path that you want to. Once you have that, just change the name of this to CA Amazon root CA1. CA path done. The other thing is certificate path. Certificate is this. Just gonna be renaming it to this. And the other thing is key path, which needs a private key. Private key is right here. Copied and pasted. And then you have to enter your host. Now this host, you have to find it here. When you go on the bottom, you will see settings corner and the endpoint. This endpoint is your host. Copy this entirely and paste it here. And in between this, you will also see your region. US, for me it's US 2. You have to place this in between the regions. Client ID can be the same. And then after you did all this, press save as all files publisher.js. Yes, you have to save it in the format of JavaScript. Once that is done, you can close this and come back to the folder right here and open command prompt with administrator rights. And after that, you just have to move to this folder right here. And then you just have to type the code node and the name of the publisher.js. Press enter. The cert ends with CRT. That's a certificate file because of that. So once you do, make sure you have to just do that as well. And then come back to the console and run again. It will say connected. See, this message says connected and it's going to be sending this test message 1. And you can just instantly check it. How? Go to test. Once you're there, you have to go to subscriber topic and press the topic name. The topic name is this message topic 1. So just write that here, topic underscore 1, and subscribe to the topic. Once you have subscribed, rerun the same process again. So I would suggest you do that first, subscribe thing, and then you just change the directory of the path and press enter. The node publisher.js, press enter. Connected, send the message, and see the topic already appeared here, and the time it shows is 3:40 exactly now. So that's the connection. You sent a message from your program. So that's all for the video. Make sure you subscribe the channel because in the future the next video would be interfacing with an actual device, and in the future I'm just going to be making videos about IoT, AWS IoT. Hope you liked it. In case you have any queries, don't forget to write that in the comments down below, and I will see you next time. Peace.